Tuck. Our next guest is a Brooklyn-born actor, producer, and director who has starred in major productions like Analyze That with Robert De Niro and Billy Crystal, First Kill with Bruce Willis, and had a reoccurring role as Jason Molinaro on The Sopranos. But now actor William DeMeo is taking on a new role as Sammy the Bull in the upcoming drama Gotti.
Mr. Gotti, are you the head of the Gambino crime family?
The head of my family.
Mrs. Gotti, do you know what your husband does for a living? He provides.
John's getting too much press. That can't go unchecked.
It was meant for you.
We've never been under this kind of scrutiny before.
What were you saying on the tapes? I said a lot of things that could get a lot of people in trouble.
Dad, say the word, I'll go over a cliff for you.
Ever wondered what the mafia was like? I think you just saw it, right? That is a clip from the new movie that stars John Travolta as the infamous mob boss. The film tracks his rise from New York criminal to the leader of the Gambino crime family. And the film hits theaters on June 15th. But first, actor William DeMeo joins us live to dish all about his role. It is so great to see you.
Great to see you, too.
Got the shirt on and everything.
Yes, the shirt, they could never break me. I think that's pretty much what sums up John Gotti Sr.
I find this so fascinating for you because obviously this is a job for you. It's a role you're playing, but this is a personal story for you as well.
Well, the reason is that, you know, growing up in Brooklyn, where I'm from, where, you know, the character I'm playing is from, it's, you know, a touchy subject in a way because of what transpired. And I grew up in that neighborhood, so where it all went down. But, you know, I'm playing a role that I'm very proud to be part of this movie and to work alongside of John Travolta, and I think we have a really good movie. Well,
it's a significant role for people that aren't familiar with your character. Kind of give them the lowdown on why it's so touchy.
Well, Sammy Gravano winded up being the final nail in John Gotti Sr.'s coffin by when he turned on him. That was the final thing that put John away. John beat the government. You know, he had 3 trials, and that's why they call him the Teflon Don, the Dapper Don, bigger than life character. And the reason, like, I wear the shirt, they can never break me, because if you look at what, you know, John was, whether you liked him or not, he was what he was, and he was a mobster 24/7. And these days, he's kind of like the last of the Mohegans, as Victoria Gotti says in one time when they interviewed her. He's kind of the last of the Mohegans, and he, you know, he died in prison from cancer, and under no circumstances would he ever break for anything. I mean, dying in bed in prison and what he went through and stuff like that. But, you know, that's the life he chose, and he took it like a man when he winded up getting life term in prison.
Did I read this correctly? You're friends with John Gotti's son, John.
John Gotti's Jr., yes.
John Gotti Jr. And that when you were researching this role, even though you obviously were familiar with Sammy, you never reached out to Sammy's family or anything on principle.
Yeah, well, you know, I didn't want to get into all that, and you know, I'm from Brooklyn, so, you know, being in the neighborhood that I grew up in, you kind of know what these guys are kind of like, because they're all over the place. So you kind of get a feel for it. It's not like I really needed, it was, you know.
You didn't need to go in depth because you kind of lived it.
Not so much, because not necessarily lived it, but just I'm from a neighborhood where a lot of guys are like that. And then on another hand, I have John Gotti Jr., who, you know, told the story about it. You know, the induction scene where Sammy Gravano makes, you know, that's a scene where I bring him into the life. John Gotti Jr. gets his button, as they say.
Let's talk a little bit about working with the Travoltas, because it wasn't just John, it was his wife as well. His daughter is in the movie. So what was it like working with them?
Well, they're magnificent people. They're both, Kelly and John are movie stars, and they're very humble, very nice people. I can't say enough good words about them both. They were so nice to the people in Cincinnati and in Brooklyn. When we shot in Brooklyn, they signed autographs for so many people. They're so personable, and I got to tell you, they both bring it. They both really bring it in this movie, and I'm excited to watch John Travolta transform into this character was amazing to see it. Actually, there's a scene when I'm on the witness stand and I'm looking out at from the distance, and I'm looking at John Travolta, who's John Gotti. I literally, the way he was dressed exactly the way John was dressed. I literally felt like I was seeing a ghost from that distance.
Which is amazing, because when you have someone as well known as John Travolta, for them to transcend and become the character, that's hard to do, right?
Yeah, the whole time John was on, when the camera went on, John was John Gotti.
Yeah, and that was it. Since you brought it up, I know you did a lot of filming in my fine city of Cincinnati. How did it go?
I love Cincy. Cincy was a great city, and you know what's good about Cincy is there's a lot of streets there that look kind of old school, 80s, kind of like New York. So there was a lot of spots where you couldn't even tell, believe it or not. And I was kind of, you know, fascinated by that. And then we shot New York as well, so we got the whole, you know, put this together, and you feel like you're in Ozone Park, and you feel like you're in front of the Ravenite Social Club in Little Italy. So, you know, it was great.
Well, I feel like I'm talking with the real deal here. Thank you so much for coming in. Come back and visit us again. I know you got other projects that are going as well.
Absolutely. I have a TV series. It's called The Neighborhood, which is kind of my own show.
Let me guess, does it have to do with the mom?
It does. It has to do with Brooklyn in 1985 that I created, and I'm very proud and happy about that.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time this morning. And just a reminder, you can catch Gotti in theaters June 15th.